Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Whenever I live stream from my phone, sometimes if I get a call, I can get the live stream to come back on, but for some reason, this time it kicked me out entirely and it wouldn't let me come back in. So I apologize. I don't know who was calling me, but they tried to call me twice, so it made it double hard. Hey, Crazy Christy. Hey, Jakes. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm sure hopefully everybody sees that we moved to a different stream. I didn't see the other one active anymore, so. Dark Lily, do you see she's deflecting from the Tati case? What do you think the end game could be? She'll eventually become more famous through controversy. So I honestly think, like I was saying, previous to being rudely interrupted by somebody calling me, is that I think she's calculating all of this at this point. There are too many professionals. I understand people having concerns for her mental health just because the average, from what it seems by everybody talking about this, both commentators, YouTubers, and like just viewers, they all have concerns or have gone through the process of like kind of being concerned about her mental health. And I believe she is feeding into it. She sees the outrage. She sees people's concern and she feeds into it. She's like, oh, well, if they think that I'm not stable mentally, let's prove that I'm not stable mentally, so to speak. That's what I think is kind of going on at this point, just because the fact there are so many professionals involved with her life, like not just in relation to her son, but part of those workers who are in her house for her son are to a degree making sure that his parents are safe for him. So if they had concerns for her mental health being unstable, they would address it and have the appropriate agencies notified. So I really don't think she is losing her mind or that she really feels or says the way that she's acting, I don't think is done to... I think it's done on purpose is pretty much all I can say. Like, that is my interpretation at this point in time, that she is feeding into it. Like, people are saying what can she do next? And she does something worse next. It's just because she is getting the views, I'm assuming, that she wants to get by continuing to feed into this she's unstable thing and like doing everything to cause people to be concerned for her, right? At least that's been my take on it this far. You've said this from the jump. You wonder if she's going to play the mental I don't think she will be able to play the mental instability card because she has all of these professionals in her home. She has all of these professionals that she sees, not just in relation to her child, but she has disclosed before what medication she's on. And if you know anything about the medication she's on, you have to at least every 3 months, depending on where you live and depending on the milligram of what you are prescribed, you have to go back to the doctor to get refills. So I'm really, initially I was kind of worried when this all really started to blow up and she was really doing some acts that were like concerning because it wasn't seeming as if she cared about what was going on. I mean, I'm not really one to care if she addresses what everybody is saying. I don't blame her in that aspect to not address like what everybody else is saying about her, but she's just going on and on and on, and I don't think that I don't want to be mean, but what does it matter anyways, really? I think if it was genuine, the other professionals involved with her and her kids or her son would step in. They would have to. They're bound to. So that makes me believe that what she is doing online is to spark outrage. She is intentionally doing these things to have everybody question what she's doing, and she is almost forcing these larger creators at this point to continue to talk about her, because unfortunately they fell into the original outcry of it all and calling her out for her stuff. And then now they have essentially, in my opinion, put a target on their backs for Katie to target them and to continue to do stupid shit and continue to do stuff that is like unmoral to most people, but she is doing it because it is continuing to make her relevant. That has started to become my opinion. If none of this stuff was going on, if Katie had we found out she was getting sued, all of these creators came out and told their negative experience with Katie, I'm not saying she would be canceled, but she would not continue to be talked about to the degree that she has continued to be talked about, because she continues to do these shitty things. CCing your manager on an email to larger creators is asinine. And then now recently what she has tried to do is try and say that her emailing them was her trying to handle it privately. The hell? We all have read or seen those emails at this point. That was not a professional email. That was not trying to settle things personally. That was, I'm going to try and intimidate you to get what I want. That's what that email was. And luckily, these other creators are smart and have bigger balls than she does and doesn't care what she says and is going to make sure that they defend themselves, which kudos to them. Like, seriously, kudos to Creepshow, kudos to Truth Sleuth, kudos to everybody, Little Red, all of these people who are continuing to make sure that they are not being bullied by her, because this is bullying behavior. She wants to sit there and call all these people trolls, say she's been harassed, and as I keep seeing on Twitter, where is the proof, Katie? You have no problem trying to find proof to support your slanderous, allegedly slanderous claims against the Westbrooks and Halo Beauty. But when you want to try and convince your following of people who I guess really can't see things as a big picture at this point, you just have to say it and it's fine. And you don't think that people aren't going to start questioning you after 18 months, as you so notoriously say all the fucking time that it's 18 months this has been going on. What the heck did you do 18 months ago to incite all of these people to be that curious about your behaviors? That curious that you are maybe a crappy person, because that is why people look into others. You specifically even said in your video about the Westbrooks that you thought they were involved in criminal activity because of the vitamins, and that's why you looked into them. You don't just randomly start looking into people. It just doesn't happen. If you're seriously trying to find something, if you have a legitimate concern about someone, whether it's an influencer or somebody in your personal life, it is because you have noticed something, you have seen something to cause for concern, to think that they are being untruthful. So you look for the truth because you know that person's not going to give it to you. Unfortunately, what you did with the Westbrooks is you twisted all of the information that you got, but you want to continue to tell people that you didn't do anything wrong and you're not worried and you see what everybody else is saying online. Continuing to feed into this reaction behavior. You are constantly reacting to stuff, which is great because yes, you are giving us content. However, I would like to correct you in some things, Katie Joy. I would like to correct you in the